Right. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. This is. Get your head round this. Love and light. Have a nice day. Hello, sweetheart. I'm just testing. I'm just playing with a thing called StreamYard. So. Right. Oh, okay. I think I got it. Yes.
It's never back since, as far as I know. But I can do that. How can you have a problem with someone? It's not ideal. I think really now what she's going to have to do is pay some of your pocket. Because you know, I've said from day one, if there are bus on the line, yeah.
Right, so I'm in my StreamYard. Now I'm in YouTube.
I found a way to run my old computers with no hard.
Sure you did, love.
Here it is. And it's not in the...
Together, we will vanquish the virus, and America will rise from this crisis to new and even greater heights. As our brave warriors have shown us from the nation's earliest days, in America, we are the captains of our own fate. No obstacle, no challenge, and no threat is a match for the sheer determination of the American people. This towering spirit permeates every inch of the hallowed soil beneath our feet.
Let's bring in Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary. That was the president. Kayleigh, good to see you this morning. That was the president yesterday, remembering our fallen heroes. Why was that message so important?
It is incredibly important. There are so many great American service men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice, who laid down their life for this country. And this president honored those men and women yesterday. Now we're fighting a different kind of war, a war with the invisible enemy. And once again, American servicemen and women have rose to the occasion on the comfort and the mercy in deploying and fighting this virus head on. This is an amazing country, and we owe it all to the men and women who gave their lives for the values that we hold dear.
You know, one thing about the pandemic, Kayleigh, is the fact that, the president essentially turned over to each state the reopening to the governors, and certain states are slower than others. You look at Nevada, where they are currently, when it comes to church gatherings and houses of worship, you can have no more than 10 people gather at any one place. Now, the Department of Justice is urging them to reconsider that, and in fact, there's a letter that went out to the governor from the U.S. Attorney for the District of Nevada that reads, "We are concerned, however, that the flat prohibition against 10 or more persons gathering in-person worship services, regardless of whether they maintain social distancing guidelines, impermissibly treats religious and non-religious organizations unequally." Has the White House heard from faith leaders about this push to reopen churches?
Yes, and the faith leaders want to reopen their churches. As the DOJ said in another statement of interest, there's no pandemic exception to the Constitution and to the Bill of Rights. I went to church on Sunday. I was happy that for the first time, a church that was nearby to me reopened. I went to Mass. Everyone was socially distanced. Everyone was disinfecting. The priest hand sanitized before he handed out communion. It was the exemplary way I think a church or a mosque or a synagogue can reopen. So this can be done safely. But when you have states like Virginia that was penalizing 16 people for gathering in a 200-person church, these were sex addicts and drug addicts who depended on going to their church every Sunday, and they're penalized while there are large gatherings in the Lowe's parking lot, in the Home Depot parking lot. It's unfair. It's an unduly burden on religion and the free expression of worship that's embedded in our First Amendment. And just to note, in Mississippi, another example where people were fined for attending church in their cars. This is remarkable. This is not the American way.
So, Kayleigh, on Friday, I think it was, you gave your press conference. You said, "Hey, I'm going to run down a list of questions that you guys just don't even ask me." And then you ran through them and you left. And I think a lot of people were stunned by that. A lot of people applauded it. But the one thing you did say,
Excuse me.
Make a comment that people, some of you don't care whether these churches open or not. And some of the press got insulted. In fact, Chris Wallace said, "Let me just say, Sam Donaldson and me in the Reagan White House, we were pretty tough at White House press secretaries. We never had our religious beliefs questioned or lectured to what we asked. I would have been pretty tough if I was there and heard that." Were you?
We're currently experiencing World War III right now. The final war of their life. We're currently experiencing World War III right now. The final war of their life. It's against us, the people. It's so important that you watch the entirety of this video, because this could prove to be our last and final hope for humanity. Our last hope for true and utter freedom, and finally an end to global tyranny. It's your civil responsibility to watch the entirety of this video and to share it as much as possible. I'm going to be explaining to you international legal framework that has been suppressed and hidden from us in order to use our ignorance against us so that power and control can be exerted over us. This legal framework will be forming the basis of a historic event and global protests which will start to take place on the 22nd of June 2020.
Sorry,
If you're
Jesus,
watching
guys.
this video after that date, then
Hay
it's
fever.
fine because it is important
I'm just
that you
testing.
understand this legal framework in order to help you liberate your people as well as your country. Mass protests are about to erupt globally, and many of us are working together in order to stop this war against humanity
Excuse me.
and this war against our consciousness. The information presented in this video will aid the dawn of a global revolution, one of the likes which you have never seen before. At the end of this video, I will explain to you our plans to legally take down global corrupt forces. Many people have been working together in order to make sure that this is possible, including solicitors and barristers. And I hope this video inspires other legal professionals to get together to fight this cause. In order to properly understand our rights, we first need to explore the origin of our Constitution as well as common law. In 1215, the Magna Carta was created, a document signed between King John of England as well as the barons of the land of that time. The Magna Carta is Latin for the Great Charter of Freedom, which is otherwise considered the greatest constitutional document of all time, as it has deeply influenced the formation of most democratic nations' constitutions all over the world, including all countries within the Commonwealth as well as the United States of America. The document was essentially the birth of democracy, constitutional rights, and civil liberty. Lawfully speaking, it was put in place to limit the monarch's power over people like you and me, and to ensure that they always act in the best interests of people of the land, to prevent any tyrannical order from taking place, which we are currently unconstitutionally experiencing today. It stated that each individual bared as much power as each individual in the monarch, a lawful document that was so powerful that it had finally leveled the playing field, providing equal rights for all. Fundamentally speaking, the Magna Carta was derived from Christian law and the 10 Commandments in the Bible. Today, Christian law is otherwise known as common law, laws put in place in order to ensure no loss, no harm, and no injury. Whether you believe in Christ or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that these laws were put in place in order to protect our human rights, to protect us, the people, from ruling forces having unwarranted power over us. The Magna Carta is so important because it formed the basis of legal and human rights that each of us as individuals possess today. In 1688, the Bill of Rights was voted into English Parliament. In 1689, it was written into law. It was signed outside of Parliament, which gives it ultimate authority over any laws that have been created by Parliament. The Bill of Rights is an extension of the Magna Carta, and it essentially brought the Magna Carta into Parliament and common law. At the end of the Bill of Rights, it states that this document cannot be changed, not now nor ever, and any attempt to do so is an act of treason, which is punishable by hanging. So what this means is that any attempt to take people's rights away is an act of treason and is punishable by death. Remember, the Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, and Constitution supersedes parliamentary law, and no new law can oppose the rights given to us within our Constitution. Are you now starting to see where it is that I'm going with this? Each nation's parliaments and governments are afforded their power and sovereignty through us citizens. In terms of the United Kingdom, lawfully speaking, no individual in the monarch is any more powerful than any individual in the United Kingdom. Parliaments can only conduct new laws with the consent of its nation's people. And if they do not seek the nation's consent, then that is an act of treason. Basically, treason has been committed against us multiple times, in many, if not all, democratic nations. So, we are in our rights to be aware of this and seek justice, which is punishable by death. Now that you understand the law, let's explore why this is more relevant than ever. Each one of the 52 countries within the Commonwealth that has implemented their own disaster act has committed an act of treason by feeding people the illusion and lie that they have the ability to take our constitutional rights away. Our right to freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom to work and support yourself financially. People have been brainwashed into believing that our governments have ultimate authority and power over us and our constitutional rights. As a result, it has caused a severe economic depression, which has resulted in the closure and loss of many businesses and livelihoods.
Can you still hear me while this is playing? Can you give me some 5 minutes?
By our own government. Many acts of treason have been committed against us, the people, because we have not been properly educated on our rights as individuals and as a collective. Governments and ruling parties have taken advantage of our ignorance and our lack of knowledge.
Thank you,
and used
Jesus.
it against us, and lawfully speaking, in the process, have committed acts of treason against us. Let's look at Britain, for example. In 2007, the Queen was ill-advised by the Privy Council and Gordon Brown, which led to the signing of the Lisbon Treaty, which was a deliberate attempt to remove our sovereignty.
Bless you, brother. Bless you.
This was an act of treason. Parliament did not seek the consent of its people, which in itself was an act of treason. Unfortunately, people do not know any better, and they're unaware of their rights and laws until this very day. In 1997, the Labour Party had won the elections, and Tony Blair was their leader. Directly after he had won, he had increased MPs' salaries by 50%. In 1998, he had gone against the Bill of Rights and changed the laws on treason. By doing that, he had actually committed treason himself. The government treats people's silence as consent and have tricked people into thinking that this is legal. But it is not, because the government requires a referendum each time it wants to implement and change new laws. Parliament has the right to write new laws into existence. But these laws can only come into effect with the consent of the people. This is what people have failed to realize. And this lack of knowledge has resulted in unconstitutional crimes having been committed against us. It's almost as though their lights and governments are convoluting laws so us, the people, do not understand them and the processes that are required in order to make them effective. And so that if we ever come to understand them, that they would not be subject towards certain punishment for the treason that they've committed against us. Article 39 of the Bill of Rights states that anyone accused of a crime needs to be trialed in the court of their peers. This law was broken when Magistrates' Court was brought into being. This again was an act of treason, and had given the elites and Parliament more control and power to practice corruption within the justice system. The real question is, how have they been managing to continuously keep doing this and getting away with it time and time again? Well, it's because they passed these laws without being contested. That's what gives the legal system weight to go ahead and implement these laws. It's also because the courts and the media go ahead and communicate as though these laws cannot be contested. People are unaware that they still possess the power to still be able to decide what happens and what doesn't. But the truth is that all it takes is for a small majority to get together and contest these laws. The more people get together, the more weight the power of the people possess.
Yeah, they can be put to use, I agree.
These laws can be revoked. If people are unaware of their rights, then they will not exercise their rights. This is a global phenomenon. There's an abuse of ignorance and needs to be stopped. What's sad is that most British people are unaware of the fact that they actually have institutions. The Bill of Rights mentioned in this video affects Britain as well as 52 countries within the Commonwealth, including.
Can you see this? You can see the other screen all okay, yeah?
The reason for this ignorance and lack of knowledge within Britain and all
Can you see the screen?
Countries within the Commonwealth is because politicians and media never ever mention common law. And because it's been hardly mentioned, that is why the public is unaware of it. This has been happening all over the world.
I agree with
Our
you,
media
Jesus.
outlets are controlled
Amen.
by the same rich elites which are controlling our governments. They have been continuously controlling our information and continuously committing acts of treason against us and the nations that we represent.
Sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming,
Unfortunately, some members of the media platforms are pushing their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Thanks, Elaine.
So you see, this is not a national
I built this
problem.
studio for
This
the
is
people.
a global problem. And as I said, there are 52 countries within the Commonwealth. Lawfully speaking, the people have ultimate authority over their parliaments and governments.
You got no idea how much I love you all, man. I tell you.
The have no power over us because it is us, the people, that lend our sovereignty and power to these politicians and institutions. Once people realize this, they will be shocked at how governments all over the world have been committing multiple acts of treason against us. They're not seeking our consent in a lot of the things they do and the laws that they freely implement without our consent.
Where you living, Jesus?
Rights were put in place to stop powerful people from doing whatever they want against the interests of us, the people. When people realize how much power they have as an individual and as a collective, this is when times will truly change.
So you should be seeing this screen now. I wish Jesus would wake the people up. He is. Who do you think's bringing this conscious revolution? It's the Spirit. Just bear with me. I'm just testing a few things here. Okay. But this hopefully should polish the show up a little bit, to be fair. Glad I've done this, really. Right. So is this all syncing up all right for you guys? Is this all sort of in current and real time? Right. So now you should be. Can you still hear me now? You've got this full screen. I'm you know. So now you should be. Can you still hear me now? You've got this full screen. I'm on. You know. You can hear and see the screen. Fantastic. Right. So. So you can see here that you've got the 12:15 text, 12:16 text. Now I didn't know there was a 12:16 Magna Carta. Let's have a look at the 12. This is it. Right. So I'm going to save this screen and we're going to talk about this. So this is the second Great Charter of King Henry III, granted November the 6th AD to 1217. Don't ask me to read the Latin. I'm not that clever. Right. Right. So this is going to be good. This is going to be entertaining. So what I can now do is full proper interactions. Henry, by the grace of God, King of England, Lord of Ireland, of Normandy and Aquitaine, Earl of Agen, to the archbishops. Know ye that in the presence of God and for the salvation of our own soul and of our souls, of our ancestors and our successors, to the exaltation of the Holy Church and the amendment of our kingdom, we grant, and by this present charter we have confirmed for it and by its heirs forever. It doesn't say until a dodgy parliament comes along, does it? It says forever. Right? By the counsel of our venerable fathers, the Lord Giuliano, blah, blah, blah. Right, so in the first place, we grant unto God, and by this our present charter, we have confirmed for us and for our heirs to end forever, that the English Church shall be free and shall have her whole rights and her liberties inviolable. Now, the question is, I'm just going to come back into streaming. So we should see. Right, so I'm just checking this out as we go through this. Right, so now I'm just getting used to this program, people. It has gone. Oh no, the echo was me. I'm watching this on my other phone. I've turned it down. I can turn it back up again if you want. So see, now I've stood over the sarcophagus of William the Marshal. Now, when King Henry III was, I think he was only about 7 or 8, this great charter, which everyone bangs on about Magna Carta 1215, and we'll go through that in time as we go on. This is the one that was signed and sealed with everybody's blessings. William the Marshal, the first Earl of Pembroke, regent to King Henry III, the crown, the monarchy, the estates and the peoples, the commoners all come together and signed and sealed this one up with blessings. And so what William the Marshal said was, it is not what is written, but it is the faith placed within a thing. That's the law. So this is the Great Charter. This is the one out of all the Magna Cartas. No, I won't turn it back up now. By if there have any archage, blah, blah, we can read the text. We'll go through this later. This is just a test. I'm just testing right now. No widow shall be compelled to marry while she's willing to live without a husband. Bless her. A free man shall not be immersed, given an arbitrary fine for a small offence, which is parking tickets and all this other stuff, right? So what we've got to do is put these things out and share them out so people can start seeing the real England, the real laws governing this land that are in perpetuity. All these are in perpetuity, right? But after 1066, when William the Conqueror come along, we was all dispossessed. Now, there are many ways back to freedom. Let me tell you. Actually, I want to move that one to there. Let's just do that. So, I don't know what you can see now. You can see... Right, babe?
Where's your golf umbrellas?
Golf umbrellas?
Yeah, I just want to borrow one.
I left one. I took one to London and left it up there. I don't think I've got any more.
You have loads.
Unless there's one in the garage.
No, I can see it.
No, I did have one in that bag, but it's disappeared. I don't know where it is. Right. So I'm just playing around here, people. So how many people we got joined in? 4. So really what I need to do when I start doing these things through this StreamYard is to share it out. Got umbrellas. Is the missus doing a Mary Poppins? Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins. Yes, she is. I'm gonna. I'm just because I'm going to enjoy this. Trust me, I'm really pumped up for this now. Right. So you should be able to see this, right? No? Where are we going? Hang on. Let's just let this thing settle down. Right. So we're in this because I read scripture quite a bit. You know, I've said before, it keeps me humble. It keeps my feet on the ground. I mean, we've got Jesus in the room. For we must appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. That's why I can't do bad things to people, physical beatings and stuff like that. It's disgusting. You should try and make a schedule of trying to rewatch Is a Pain for some reason. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So put out a live feed thing and then schedule it for, say, like 8 o'clock, right? Yeah? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I can live with that. That sounds really, really good. Thank you for that suggestion. So what you're saying is I don't want that one no more, do I? Let's just get rid of that because I tested that one earlier. You should be seeing that now. That's my live screen in should come up in a second. Right, so what you're saying is schedule for later, right? Okay. So if I was to say, oh, you can only do, can I do any later than 7? So, yeah, I can. Yeah, hang on. Let's just go down here. Okay, so I can go. So if I said 8 o'clock and Tuesday the 26th of May, which we are in, I'm just going to see what this does. No, it's not for kids. Testing. Let's just put test. And let's smile for the thumbnail, people. Smile. Come on. Put your best on. Right. So. Otherwise, we're on tender. Oh, bless you. Bless your heart. You didn't say whereabouts you was. I didn't see where you said you was in the country. Can't read it too small. Okay. So basically what you're saying is if that's too small, then all I've got to do is make the screen bigger. So let's try that now. Okay. So let's come back into here. We've got that set up. So you should be able to see that, and that should come out in the full screen now. Right. Unless I do this. So that should be the whole screen now. Can you? No, I don't want that. Do I want that one? Yes, in full screen mode, it's possible to see the text on this PC. Right, so can you all see that now? Yeah, can you all see that screen right there? Can't read it too small, but in whole screen can make out the word. So can you see that? I'm not sure whether I can zoom in on that and up the text size. Let's see if we can up the text size. No. Right, so you can see that. Right, no constable, castle governor, shall distrain any knight to give him money for castle guard if he's willing to perform it in his own person or by another able man. If he cannot perform it himself for reasonable cause, blah, blah, blah. So you can all read that, yeah? You can see that in full screen on mine. So this is just going to be hit and miss for a little while. And but I'm so glad to Stuart that suggested I'll get this app because it's working a treat. And it's all going down one stream as well, which just means we shouldn't lose the feed, to be fair. So that's fantastic. So you can see everything that's going on there. Let's go to another screen. So you should be able to see that screen now. I'm just testing this, people. Don't beat me. Right, so you're seeing the Wake Up UK page there. That's a fantastic site, by the way. If none of you are subscribed to that, it's free. You can pop into the radio shows on a Thursday night, which is absolutely fantastic. We can do this. So I'm just going to play that for a second and we'll see how that rides out.
It will change the way people think, it will change the way people act, and it will change the way people behave towards each other. This knowledge being implemented can present a whole new era and dawn of humanity. We have been subtly brainwashed into believing and not understanding any of this. We are all slaves that have therefore imprisoned us.
So I've just turned that mic off. Can you get that? Are you getting the volume? Can you hear that video without me having my mic on? Can you get that? Are you getting that? If you can just give me a 5x5 that you can actually hear that video or not, that'd be great. So you can hear that video, Jesus Jones, yeah? Oh. No, can just see it. Right, okay. So let me turn that back up again then.
Because they're fighting that far too many people.
So you should be able to hear that again now.
Get in the way of their plan for total world domination. Lawful documents have been served on the 23rd of May 2020. The first step of a due process.
That's all right. I'll turn it on and off. It's okay.
For their crimes and treason committed against the indigenous people. Giving the government 30 days notice to find a regular situation and to deliver justice to the people. After the 30-day notice period, any British person that wants to fight for justice and freedom watching this video will legally, as a collective, be allowed to get together and themselves seek remedy and justice. It is so important that you understand that this cannot happen seconds or minutes before the 30-day notice period is up. If it does, then you will have no legal rights to take action. Once the 30-day notice period is up, and directly after it has been completed, then all the power will lie in the people's hands. On that day, mass protests will be happening. A lawful rebellion against sedition and treason, potentially the greatest revolution this planet has ever seen. It is extremely important that after the notice period is up, on that day and on that hour, justice is exacted. Police will legally not be allowed to oppose such a collective because the police belong to the people and not to Parliament. The only way that this can become legally null and void is if a larger group of citizens get together and oppose the freedom and justice that this movement is fighting for. As long as people are lawful and not violent within this process, each individual will be standing within their own rights. Citizens are allowed to use minimal force in order to protect themselves. This is a legal term that allows people to use the same amount of force inflicted upon them, just so long as they are not the aggressor. So, as I'm about to upload the video on the 23rd of May 2020, I've just gotten a call now from my fellow British patriots who had gone into hand in the lawful documents of sedition and treason, giving a 30-day notice.
This is what we're here today for. As we said, this is not a protest.
There's my buddy Gary and Nathan.
We're just here to uphold the law of this land. In here, proves the sedition and treason.
As they had gone in to hand them in, there had been a whole lot of cops there waiting, which means this whole operation and movement has been tracked, traced, and followed.
Under the Health Protection Act 2020, Regulation 7, you're being asked to go.
Achtung!
But you're on the road.
Sir, it doesn't matter what you believe.
You've been given a grip.
Sir, if you're not willing to engage with me,
I haven't got this.
you need to first go home. That's up to you, sir.
This needs to be said. What I'm saying is this is a part of citizenship.
And they had not allowed them to hand in the documents, which means that the police themselves had actually gone ahead and broken the law and had gone against Article 61, refusing to acknowledge the Magna Carta, which was officially acknowledged in 2001.
Right, under the Breach of the Health Act 2020, Regulation 7, please state that details of payment.
And what this means is that
He's got a bad arm as well.
Right now, and the 30-day notice starts from today. And on the 22nd of June 2020, Britain will be shut down. This is extremely powerful because it will act as a symbol and a catalyst to show people around the world how much power we bear within our rights, legally as individuals, and most importantly as a collective. After the United Kingdom does this, Australia will shortly follow, and we expect this to inspire many other democratic nations within the Commonwealth to do the same. This truly is the start of a final battle. That is our last chance to truly be able to protect our freedom, sovereignty, and rights as human beings. In the Bill of Rights, it says that if treason is committed against the people, then they are commanded to rise up and peacefully seek justice for the treason that has been committed against them, which means that it is your legal and civil responsibility to peacefully rise up and seek remedy against the sedition and treason that has been committed against you. In the comments section, there are links to groups you can join on Facebook, Telegram, Reddit, and Discord. I myself am working with two organizations called Earth United, as well as the World's People Council, which you'll also find links to in the comment section below. I hope you realize the seriousness of this and are ready to act. If this doesn't wake you up, then nothing will. Please subscribe to my channel and click the bell button so you can be notified whenever one of my latest videos come out, where I will continue to spread love and peace in the form of wisdom and knowledge. I will also continue to cover the story as it unfolds. If you'd like to show your support and make a donation towards the Casanova Show and the valuable content I create, then there's a PayPal link in the description and comment section below. My people, please keep fighting the good fight, and remember that you, the people, are the lawful rebellion against treason and tyranny. Thank you.
So, we've only 10 years to sort this out, according to David Icke. I'll make him straight, to be fair. Right, let's turn that off. No, I don't want that. So that, I think I can bring somebody else in on a call as well. That is a freeway thing. I don't know how I can bring people in on a call, but what I can do is I have Zoom, and I can use Zoom to screen share through here so we can do Zoom calls with people as well. So if anyone wants to join and come in and have a chat and a debate, that'd be fantastic. And we can do that through Zoom, and we can get you out and get your views listened to. So I'm not sure why I've only got 4 people viewing. That's something I've got to have to figure out. Why I've only got 4. Elaine Clark, 30 days to bring the paedophiles down. Apparently, there's been, I think, some queue drops. I mean, I'm not overly sure about queue, whatever it is. I mean, what will happen each day, each month, each week. But I do believe that something's going on in the world. So, but they said that there was a lot going on today. That something might drop today, but we'll wait and see. So I'm testing. So let me see. I'm just going to share this out more, and then we'll see if we can get a few more people to drop in. I'm just testing. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, interesting times. Fantastic app, isn't it? It's fantastic. I'm really loving this. Sean, Stuart, actually, congratulations, my brother. This is one hell of a platform. I'm loving this, all this sharing ability and stuff. So, people, I will be back with you probably later tonight or tomorrow. What's the time now? It's 20 to 7. Yeah, interesting times. Thanks for tuning in. I shall end this broadcast now. And as you can see, we're moving on up in the studio department. It's really good. I'll see you soon.